Alright, Title 40, Part 1033, Control Emissions for Locomotive Subpart B Emission Standard Related Requirements. 1033-101, Exhaust Emission Standards. 1003-101, Exhaust Emission Standard with link to the amendment of the published 88 Federal Registry 4484 of January 24, 2023. Emission standards for a line haul locomotive exhaust emission for the new locomotives may not exceed the applicable emission standards of the Table of 1-2 section during the useful life of the locomotive and measure emissions using the applicable test procedure that's described in Subpart F of this part. 1033-102 with the transition to the standard specified in the subpart. 1033-102 with the transition standard specified in the subpart. Tier 0, Tier 1 standard with 1003-101 apply with the new locomotives beginning January 1st, 2010, except for the specified in 1033-150A with the Tier 0 and 1 standard specified Appendix 1 of this part apply with the earlier models, except for the specified in the 1033-150A. Tier 2 standards 1033-101 apply with the new locomotives beginning January 1st, 2013. Tier 2 standards specified in Appendix 1 of this part apply with the earlier model years. Tier 3 and Tier 4 standards 1033-101 apply with the model years specified in this section. In that section. Alright, Title 40, CFR 133-110, Emission Diagnostic General Requirements. 1033-110, Emission Diagnostic General Requirements. Provision of the section apply with the equip the locomotive with a diagnostic system that will detect significant malfunction in the emission control system that you can achieve the base for the emission-related maintenance with instructions for the untouched diagnostics. 1033 420, information about how to select the maintained diagnostic what locomotives in use for the testing and notify the owner and operative of the presence of the diagnostic system and the effect of the maintenance obligations under the 1033-815, except for the specified 1033-112. The section does not apply for the diagnostic. They do not include your emission-related maintenance site instruction. Provisions by selection address the diagnostic system based on the malfunction indicator lights that you may ask to use other indicators of the malfunction indicator lights. Malfunction indicator lights must be readily visible to the operator when the malfunction indicator light goes on. That must display with the track of the emission control of the similar message when we approve of the use the second sound addition to the light signal. To ensure the owner and operator consider the major malfunction indicator lights and illumination seriously, you may not illuminate for the malfunction and not otherwise require maintenance. This section does not limit your ability to display other indicator lights and methods designed with a clearly distinguishable with the malfunction indicator lights effective for the owner and operator maintenance obligation 1033-815. Control the malfunction indicator lights can go out with the malfunction indicator lights go on and show with the malfunction. It remains with them during the later engine operation until the serve correct for the malfunction. If the engine does not serve with the malfunction does not recur with it during the next 24 hours, malfunction indicator light may stay off during the later engine operation. D. The records and store with the computer memory with the diagnostic trouble code showing with the malfunction with it should illuminate malfunction indicator light. Store codes must identify with the malfunction system component as uniquely as possible. The codes available to data link connectors described in the paragraph E of the section. You may store code for the condition but they do not determine the malfunction indicator light, but the system must use the separate code to show that the diagnostic system is disabled. The malfunction tampering provide instruction for the owner and operator regarding how to interpret the malfunction codes. Make data access code of the device accessible. Make all required data accessible to use any of the access to the devices that only you can supply. Ensure that anyone who services locomotive can read and understand the diagnostic trouble codes stored with the onboard computer with the generic tools and information. Follow standard reference format codes and connections. Alright, that was Title 40 CFR 1033-110 Emission Diagnostic General Requirements. Alright, Title 40 CFR 1033-112 with Emission Diagnostic SCR Systems. 1033-112 with Emission Diagnostic of the SCR system. Engines equipped with the SCR systems using the type of the reductant tanks must also require the requirement section addition from the requirements 1039-112 of the section does not apply with the SCR system. Uses the engine fuel as a reductant. B. The diagnostic system must monitor the reductant quality of the tank level to alert the operator of the need of the refill of the reductant tank before the empty replace with the reductant if it does not meet the concentration specification. Unless we approve of the others, alert to the use of the malfunction indicator light if it's specified in 1033-110 of the auto, when an audible alarm, you do not need to separately monitor reductant quality if you can include with the exhaust of the nitric oxide sensor. Otherwise, if it allows you to determine inadequate and reductant quality out of the tank level that must be monitored in all cases. Your onboard computer must record the non-volatile computer memory. All accents at the engine operation adequate redundant injection reduction quality must record the total amount of the operation with adequate reductant. It may total the operation by hours works or accept the nitric oxide emissions. Title 40 CFR 1033-115. Other requirements. Other requirements. Link of the amendment is published Title 40 and Title 88 Federal Register 4484 January 24, 2023. Locomotives required to meet with the emissions standard if the part meets with the requirements for the section requires to apply with the locomotives new for freshly manufactured remanufactured locomotives can be applied with the throughout useful life. Crankcase emissions may not be directly into the ambient atmosphere for any locomotive except as follows. The locomotive that may discharge the crankcase emission for the ambient atmosphere if the emissions are added to the exhaust emission physical mathematically during all emission testings. If you take advantage of the exemption, you must do both of the following things. 1. Manufacture the locomotive so that all the crankcase emissions can be routed into the applicable sampling system and specified in the Title 40 CFR 1065 consists of the good engineering judgment. Accounting deterioration crankcase emissions, determining exhaust deterioration factors. 2. Propose purpose of this paragraph of the A crankcase emission route with exhaust upstream with exhaust after treatment during all operation not considered to be discharged directly into the ambient atmosphere. Adjusting parameter. The locomotive with the adjust parameters must meet all the requirements of the part adjusted to prove with adjustable range. You must specify in the application certification adjustable range for the adjustable parameter for the new locomotive with the new locomotive engine 2. Ensure the safe locomotive with the operating characteristics available with the range required with the Section 202A4 of the Clean Air Act, Title 42 U.S. Standard Code 751-21A4 for taking into consideration production tolerances. Limit the physical range adjustability to the maximum extent practicable to the range that is necessary for the proper operation of the locomotive with the locomotive engine. Perceived prohibited controls. You may not damage the produce. You may not design or produce your locomotive with the emission control devices, systems, or elements design that cause or contribute to unreasonable risk of the public health, welfare, safety while operating. For example, that would apply with a locomotive that emits the noxious, the toxic substance, and otherwise not emit with the contributed such for the unreasonable risk. De-evaporate refueling. Control the locomotive fuel with the volatile fuel. You must design and produce the minimized evaporate emissions during the normal operation, including periods when the engine shut down. You must be able to design, produce, and minimize the escape of the fuel vapors during refuel. Hoses should be used to refuel. Gas-fueled locomotives may not be designed to be bled or vented with the atmosphere in normal operating conditions. No valve pressure relief valves may be used with gaseous fueled liquids except for the emergency safety device that does not operate with a normal system operating flow of pressure. E. Altitude requirements. All locomotives must be designed and included with the feature for the compensate with the change of the altitude so the locomotives will comply with the applicable emission standards when they operate with the altitude less than 7,000 feet above sea level of line haul locomotives, 5,500 feet above sea level of switch locomotives. F. Defeat device. You may not equip the locomotive with a defeat device. Defeat device is auxiliary emission control device with the effectiveness of emission control under the condition that the locomotive is reasonably expected to encounter during the normal operation of use. That does not apply with the auxiliary emission control device. You can identify with the application certification any of the following with the addition concerned with the substantially include with the applicable duty cycle test procedure subpart described in subpart F of this part. 2 show that you've designed necessary to prevent locomotive damage and accident. 3 to reduce the effectiveness supply with only starting the locomotive. 4 the locomotive emission of the auxiliary emission control device functioning are at or below notch caps of the 1033-101. 2. If it does not apply with auxiliary emission control devices related with the hotel model will conform with the specification of the paragraph F2 with the provision 10 with the auxiliary emission control devices that have the primary function of the operation of the engine with the difference speed that would do done generate some of the same propulsive power of the when not operating in hotel mode identified with the described with auxiliary emission control devices in your application for certification. We may allow the auxiliary emission emergency control devices to modify the engine calibration when we determine the swift modification of the environmental beneficial need for the proper engine function. Must obtain preliminary approval of 1033-2010 before incorporating such modification, otherwise you must apply with the same injection timing, intake, air cooling strategies in hotel mode and non-hotel mode. Hotel mode and non-hotel mode. Idle controls. All new locomotives must be equipped with the automatic engine stop at the start with the described in paragraph G. With all new locomotives be designed to allow the engine to be restarted at least 6 times per day without causing the engine damage that would affect expected interval between remanufacturing of the violation. Title 40 CFR 1068-101B1 for the circumvent with the provisions of paragraph G. 1. Except in paragraph G2 with the section start and stop and start systems must shut off the main locomotive with the engine after 30 minutes with idling or less. Stop and start may restart with the continued idling with the following reason: to prevent engine damage, such as to prevent the engine cooling from freezing, to maintain the air pressure for the brakes and start system, with the recharge of the locomotive battery to perform necessary maintenance. 4. To otherwise comply with the federal regulations. 3. May ask the alternate start and stop system will achieve the equivalent idle control. C. 1033-201. Persons allowed to obtain the separate certificate for the idle controls. It's not considered circumvention to allow the locomotive to idle to heat or cool the cab, provided such heating and cooling is necessary. H. Power meters. Tier 1 and later locomotives must be equipped with MW milliwatts hour meters of the equivalent consistent with the specification 1033-140. Alright, Title 40 CFR 1033-120 emission related to warranty requirements. 1033-120 emission related to warranty requirements. General requirement of the manufacturer, remanufacturer for the must warrant of the ultimate purchaser for each subsequent purchase of the new locomotive include all parts of the emission control system meet the 2 conditions. 1 is designed, built with equipment so with conform with the time scale of the ultimate purchaser with the requirement of this part. It is free with the defect with the material workmanship that may keep the meeting of these requirements. B. The warranty period. Simply to specify with the paragraph with the minimum warranty is 1/3 of the useful life of the emission, and the related warranty must be valid with the least long with the minimum warranty periods of the listed in the paragraph B with the MW hours for operation of the Terrier C locomotive, the equivalent of the MW milliwatts amp hours for whichever comes for any other emission related with the warranty with the generous that will require the emission-related warranty with the locomotive may not be shorter than a basic mechanical warranty provided without charge for the locomotive. Similarly, the emission-related warranty with any of the control may not be shorter than any warranty provided without charge for the component. This means the warranty may not treat the emission-related to the non-emission-related defect differently for any component if provided with the extended warranty for the individual owners and for any core components covered in paragraph C with the section additional charge for the emission-related warranty must cover those components for the other owners in the same degree. If the locomotive does not record the milliwatt hours, we base the warranty period in paragraph B only on the year of the warranty period begins when the locomotive is placed in service or back in service after the remanufacture. C. Components cover the emission-related warranty covers all components whose failures would increase the locomotive emission with any of the regulated pollution, including the components listed in Title 40 CFR Part 1068, Appendix 1, the components of any other system developed with the control of emissions. Emission-related warranty cover the components you'll sell, even if another company produces the component of the emission-related warranty does not need to cover the components whose failure would not increase the locomotive emissions. Any regulated pollutant for remanufactured locomotive with your emission-related warranty is required to cover only the parts you supply. Those parts for which you specify the liable part manufacturer does not need to cover the used parts that are not replaced during the remanufacture. D. Limited applicability. You may deny warranty claims under the section if the operator caused the problem from improper maintenance or use described in Title 40 CFR 1068-115. E. Owner's manual describes the owner's manual of the emission-related warranty provisions from this section that apply to the locomotive. Title 40 CFR 1033-125 Maintenance Instruction. Give the owner of the new locomotive the written instruction for the property maintaining use of the locomotive, including the emission control system. Give the instruction and the notification. Owners and operators must comply with the requirements of Subpart I of this Part 1033 with the emission relay with the maintenance instruction. Apply with the any service accumulation with the emission data of the locomotives as described in 1033-245 in the Title 40 CFR 1065 if you equip the locomotive with the diagnostic system to detect significant malfunction emission control system, specify the extent to which emission related maintenance instruction includes such diagnostics. Let me just check that one more time. Alright, we did that one. Title 40 CFR 1033-130 Instruction for the engine remanufacturer engine installation. 1033-130 Instruction for the engine remanufacturer engine installation. If you do not complete the assembly of the new locomotive for selling a kit that allows someone to assemble the remanufactured locomotive under the certificate, give the assembler instruction for completing assembly consistent with the requirements of this product, include all the information necessary to ensure the locomotive will be assembled in certified configuration. Make sure the instruction file with the information included with the heading of the mission related assembly instruction. Train any instruction necessary to make sure the assembled locomotive will operate according to the design specification of your application with certification. Describe how properly the locomotive is generally include the instruction remove the destroy the previous engine emission control information label. State one of the following examples of failing to follow these instructions remanufacture a locomotive or locomotive engine violates federal law of Title 40 CFR 1068-1105B. May be subject to fines or other penalties described in the Clean Air Act. Failure to follow these instructions of the locomotive engine violates federal law of Title 40 CFR 1068-15B and may be subject to fines and penalties described in the Clean Air Act. C. You do not need installation instruction for the locomotive you assemble. Provide instruction writing in an equivalent format. For example, they must be post instructions on the public available website. They download printing, but they do not provide with the instruction in written. Explain with the applicant with the certificate how you ensure the assembler is informed of the assembly requirements. E. The emission-related assembly instruction may not include the specification parts on related emission basic mechanical parts listed in paragraph E. They may not specify a part with the remanufactured unless determined with the specification necessary. May include a design specification such parts that address the dimension material of the constraints that is necessary. May also specify with the part number as long as they may be make it clear with the alternate part supplier. Maybe this paragraph is E covers the following parts of the part, determine and qualify the basic mechanic parts. Intake exhaust valves, intake exhaust valve retainers, intake exhaust valve springs, intake exhaust valve rotors, oil coolers, and that was instruction engine remanufacture engine installation. Part 10, 40 CFR 1033-135 labeling. As described in this section, each locomotive has a label on the locomotive, separate label on the engine, label on the locomotive, saved in the locomotive throughout its service life with the generally identified with the original certification of the locomotive when it was originally manufactured with the Tier 1 or later locomotives. Label on the engine replaced each time the locomotive remanufactured identifies more certain recent certification. Serial numbers at point original manufacturer signed with each locomotive, each locomotive, the engine serial number, the unique identification number, permanently affixed engraved with the stamp of the number of the locomotive, the engine in a legible way. Locomotive labels meet specification. Paragraph B2 of the section must be applied with the following. Manufacturer must apply with locomotive label the point of the original manufacturer. Remanufacturer must apply with locomotive label the point of original remanufactured unless the locomotive label the original manufacturer. Any of the remanufacturer certifying a label with the FEL standards different from the previous to FEL standards of the locomotive previously certified with the locomotive label. The locomotive label must meet all of the following criteria. Label that must be permanent, legible, affixed to the locomotive in position, which of the remain readily visible attached to the locomotive chassis part that is necessary for the normal operation and not normally requiring placement during service life of the locomotive. May not attach to the label of the engine to any of the equipment easily detached from the locomotive. Attach the label so that it cannot be removed to destroy the facing label. Tier 0 and Tier 1 locomotive labels may be made up of more than one piece along with the pieces of the permanently attached locomotive. 2. The label that must be entered for the English language, either the color with the contrast for the background of the label. Label must include the following information: label, the heading, original locomotive, the emission control information, manufacturer, remanufacturer, made, editing, subheading, distinguishing label, the engine label in paragraph C of this section. B, full corporate name and the trademark of the manufacturer, remanufacturer. C, with the applicable engine family configuration navigation. In the case of the locomotive, labels applied with the manufacturer point with the original manufacturer will be the engine family configuration and navigation certificate applicable to the freshly manufactured locomotive. In case the locomotive labels applied with the remanufactured or remanufactured for the engine family configuration and navigation certificate under which the remanufacture is being performed, date of the original manufacturer locomotive defined with part 133.901. E, the standard of the FEL for the locomotive with the certified following statement: this locomotive must comply with the submission level each time that is the remanufacturer accepted the level of the Title 4 CFR 1033-750. 3, label for diesel fuel locomotives near the fuel inlet with identified with the label the fuel is consistent with 1033-101. For example, the Terrier 4 locomotives to offer sensitive technology otherwise required with the ULSD for compliance should be the ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel only. You do not need to label the Terrier 3 earlier locomotive certified for the use of LSD and ULSD. Low sulfur diesel fuel and ultra low sulfur diesel fuel. See engine labels. For the engine not required for the after treatment of the device, they apply for the engine label meeting the specification paragraph C2 for the section. Once the engine has been assembled as a certified configuration engine for the required for the after treatment of the device, apply with the label after the engine has been fully assembled, which may occur before installing the after treatment device. Labels must be applied with the manufacturer at this point with the original manufacturer, the remanufacturer of the point, each for the remanufacturer include with the original remanufacturers subsequent remanufacturers. 2, engine label that must meet with the following criteria: with the label that must be durable with the useful life, with the low engine will be legible to effect with the engine position that will be readily visible, installed with the engine with the locomotive attached with the engine part with the necessary for the normal operation. Not a normal requirement replacement of useful life. The locomotive you may attach the label to any with equipment that easily detached from the engine. Each label that cannot be removed without destroying the defacing the label. The label that may be made up of more than one piece, so as long as the piece with permanently attached to the same engine part. 2, the label must be entered with the English language, either the color for the contrast or for the background label. The label must include the following information: label, heading, engine, emission control information, manufacturer, remanufacturer must be heading, the distinguished label, the locomotive label, the prescribed in paragraph B of this section. Full corporate name and trademark of the manufacturer, remanufacturer, engine family configuration, the navigation specified certificate under which the locomotive of the manufacturer remanufactured. Prominent unconditional statement of compliance with the U.S. Environmental Protection and Agency liquid regulation locomotives apply. The locomotive of the U.S. EPA Terrier 0 switch applicable the Terrier 0 line haul locomotives. Terrier 1 plus locomotives, Terrier 2 plus locomotives, Terrier 3 switch locomotives, Terrier 3 line haul locomotives, Terrier 4 switch line locomotives, and Terrier 4 line locomotives. That locomotives conform to USA PA applicable regulations. The useful life of the locomotive, the standards of the FELS to which the locomotive is certified. You may include the other critical operating instructions specified adjustment for the production of the use of the SCR system. You must add information emission control information labeled as follows. You may identify with the emission standard of the engine locomotive that meets does not meet with the such with international standards. You may include this information by adding the statement that we specify with include a separate statement. You must may add any other information to ensure that the locomotive will properly maintain and used. 3, may add an appropriate feature for the prevent counterfeit label. For example, they may include the engine's unique identification number on the label. E, may ask you to approve of the modified label in the part of the 1033 to show that it's necessary and appropriate to approve of the request for the alternate label and consistent with the requirements of this part. Alright, Title 40 CFR 1033-135 labeling. Alright, Title 40 CFR 1033-140 rated power 1033 140 rated power with a section describing the how to determine the rated power of the locomotive for the purpose of the power. Locomotive configuration rated power with the maximum brake power with the point with the nominal power with the curve of the locomotive configuration that defined in section 1039.901 with the definition brake power with the round with the power valve with the nearest whole power horsepower generally will be with the brake power with the engine in notch 8. Nominal power curve of the locomotive configuration maximum available with the brake power with each possible operator demands for the set point or if not if the Title 40 CFR 1065 1001. Definition: operative with the demand with the maximum allowable power at each of the operative demand set point with the baseline with the design with the production specification for the locomotive with the nominal power curve that does not include any of the operative demand set point with not achievable during the in-use operation. For example, if the locomotive with only an 8 discrete operative demand set point with the notch nominal power curve would be the true of the 8 power points versus notch rather than continuous curve. The nominal power curve must be with the range of actual power curve of the production locomotive consider the normal production variability with the if and after the product begin with the determinative of the nominal power curve that does not present production locomotives. You may require you amend with your application certification under Title 1033 225. D. For the purpose of determining useful life, you may need E for the rated power based on the other brake power according provision. Paragraph D for the useful life must be based on the power base from the locomotive with the megawatt hour meter. For example, the megawatt hour meter reads records of electrical work output alternate generator rather than brake power over the engine. The power output alternate generator at notch 8 has 4,000 horsepower calculated at useful life of 30,000 megawatt hours or 7.5 times 4,000. Alright, that's Title 40 CFR 1033-140 rated power. Alright, Title 40 CFR 1033-150 interim provision section apply with instead of the other provision with a limited time. This section describes when these provisions apply. B is A is reserve of the idle control of the locomotive equipped with the automatic engine start and stop with the original with the install of the after January 1st, 2009. Forms with requirements of 1033, 155, 115G. The team with the cover with the certificate conformity with respect to requirements of 1033, 115G. The note provision subpart C for this part also allow you to apply with the eventual certificate conformity of such system. C. Locomotive label transition new stand with the paragraph C with applies when the remanufacture of the locomotive with the previously certified under Title 40 CFR Part 92. You must remove the old locomotive label to replace with the locomotive label specified in 1033, 135. D is reserved. E. Producing switch locomotive U that certify the non-road engines may with the provision paragraph E to produce the 90 of the number of freshly manufactured refurbished switch locomotives in the model year 2008 through 2017 locomotive produced on paragraph E of exempt from standard requirements for this part and following provisions. When all engines of the switch locomotive must recover the certificate conformity issued for the under Title 40 CFR Part 89 1039 in model year 2008 but later of the earlier model years and the same standard will apply with 2008. Engines over 750 horsepower certified of the 2 Terrier 4 standard for non-generator set engines not eligible to allow for this allowance after 2014. 2. You must reasonably project that more engines will be sold to use for non-locomotive use than for use in locomotives. 3. You may not generate the use of locomotive credits on this part of the locomotive. 4. Include with the following statement the permanent locomotive label the locomotive with the certified under Title 40 CFR 1033-150E. Engines used in this locomotive are subject to the requirements of Title 40 CFR Part 1039 or 89 or in 1068. Rebuilding requirements of Title 40 CFR Part 1068 apply with the remanufactured engine within these locomotives. Alright, and use of complying for the purpose of determining complying with the other than certification, production, and testing calculated applicability and use complying with the limits of the adjustable applicable standards FEL with the project particle meter adjustment apply with the only model year 2017 and earlier locomotives does not apply with locomotive with the particle matter FEL higher than 0.03 of the gram BHP an hour. Nitrous oxide emission adjusts only with the model year 2017 earlier locomotives do not apply with locomotive nitrous oxide FEL higher than 2 grams of BHP an hour. Applicable adjustment table 1, table 2 file with the otherwise applicable standards or FEL with the notch caps must specify with the certifications which add-ons and if then apply with your locomotive. Alright, so you have fraction useful life already used in adjusting and BG divided by BHP over the hours, model 2017 and earlier, and 2004 Terrier 4 and earlier. And use adjustment, fraction useful life with already, model year 2017 Terrier standard with a model 2000 year Terrier standards. G. Optional interim Tier 4 compliant provision nitrous oxide emission for the model year 2015-2022 for the manufacturer may achieve the certified some of all their Tier 4 line haul engine families according with the optional compliant with the provision in paragraph G with the following provisions apply with the locomotives in these families. Provision of paragraph G and apply with the ship of the deterioration factor requirements for the 1033, 240, 10.4, and 1033, 245. The nitrous oxide emission may certified locomotive of the engine family conform with the requirements of paragraph G for all useful life. Apple the nitrous oxide emission for the locomotive certified on the paragraph G with the display with a 1.3 grams of brake horsepower an hour that accumulated with the 50 hours of operation, 1,000.3 plus 0.6 grams of brake hours for the accumulated 50 hours or more operation. Engine family may not generate nitrous oxide emission. Grade with the design certification 1033-240C. The design apply with these locomotives for the next remanufactured 5. Manufacturers must comply with the production line testing of Subpart G with this part of these engine families filed with the optional program. You're not required to test locomotives in the family under Subpart G with this part. Comply with the requirements paragraph G5. 2. The test locomotive specified in Subpart F, E of this part following exemption minimum test sample size with 1% of the number of the locomotive families or 5 of whichever level locomotives must be tested to have accumulated 50 hours more operation, but before they have reached 50% of the useful life. 3. Standards of the parts of the solution other than nitrous oxide apply specified with the testing conducted under the optional program. 6. The engine family with the nitric oxide emission control. Emission credits comply with the paragraph G have with 1.5 grams of BH per the hour. Nitric oxide FEL cap apply with the engine family certified under the paragraph G. Applicable standard locomotive with accumulated 50 hours or more of operation is the FEL 6/10 of the gram BHP an hour. This includes nitric oxide addition when specified in the paragraph H of the section does not apply for the locomotives. All other provisions of the part apply to such locomotives except for the specified otherwise in paragraph G. H through J is reserved. K. Test fuel tests performed during the calendar years 2008 and 2009 may be performed by using test fuel to meet the specification Title 40 CFR 92-113. If you do adjust the particle emission downward to 0.4 of the gram of the BHP within an hour to account for the difference in sulfur content of the fuel. Alright, those interim provisions. Alright, and that was Subpart B, emission standards related requirements. Control of the emissions from locomotives.